Welcome back. The 2022 governor's race is right around the corner, and a number of Republicans are challenging Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who already announced she is running for re-election. This week, the Capitol Rundown caught up with another one of those candidates, Markey, and he shared his top priorities. Listen.
One of the things that I'd like to see a bigger focus on is making education a much higher priority. I mean, we closed down schools, and I get it. People get divided by this. They think closing down schools was a COVID decision, and I would argue it really wasn't. I mean, that's what forced the discussion. But what we really should have been talking about is there's no better way to have to make haves and have-nots than to close down schools. I've been talking to people, and they think this is, split up between, upper class and lower class, and what happened in the middle class. Well, right within the middle class communities, though, we've got a number of clients that are teachers or principals, and they were telling me, hey, Mike, when you go in these middle class communities, but you go more rural, that you've got, households like yours with 3 or 4 kids, there's not enough devices to get the kids on. Well, I should say laptops. So, I mean, I was being told a story where a 3rd grader was trying to learn an entire day's worth of curriculum on an iPhone. I mean, I get it. The kids love the iPhones, but that's when they're watching YouTube, not the teacher. And then other stories were where they didn't have enough bandwidth. So you've got these kids that are trying to listen and learn, but they're constantly dealing with the video buffering. When we closed down schools, what we did is we made haves and have-nots. Some kids continued to progress and some went backwards, and there's a gap there. And kids are resilient. They're going to be able to close that gap somewhat. But all else equal, if the kids that didn't go backwards, they continue to put the same effort, and the kids trying to catch up put the same effort as the kids that are a little bit ahead, that gap is here. It might close some, but it'll never close completely. Number one priority is get people to work together. We are stronger together. We are weaker apart. We are weaker when we fight. I would hope that everyone watching, when they look at what's happening in Ukraine and Russia, they remember that these people were neighbors. A lot of them have family right over across the border. And when you fight to that degree, what happens? Destruction. And we are so busy fighting right now. We're fighting within the Republican Party. We're fighting between parties. We're fighting at Thanksgiving. We're fighting on social media. And we almost take it as like a pride. But what good is all this fighting do if it's not progressing us forward? And then with that, because I think we have an economic disaster that's headed towards us. And we're so busy looking in the rearview mirror, so busy pointing fingers and blaming and fighting, that no one seems to be talking about it. And as an advisor, I see it clear as day. I'm pro-life. But I'm okay working with people who are pro-choice, because I don't think people who are pro-choice are pro-abortion. If God gives you the choice to choose good or evil, and he's not pro-evil, then why is it somebody who's pro-choice is automatically assumed that they're pro-abortion? I don't think that's the case. And I've been talking to people who are pro-choice, who are not pro-abortion. So instead of fighting about it, what if we said, all right, here's a table. This table has a lot of seats. Anyone who wants to see abortions be lessened, you've got a seat at this table. And we're all going to have different ideas and different ideologies. But if our ultimate goal, or if our end goal is to lower abortions, you have a seat at this table. And we're going to get more ideas this way. And ideas that can probably actually be put in place.